Hello everyone, my name is Eric Frohardt with Rost Martin, and today we're going to do a basic firearms lesson. The next thing we're going to talk about is moving and shooting. Nothing really changes when we're moving and shooting. If you remember when we talked about the fundamentals, we don't want to put too much of an emphasis on the stance because then we can't move and shoot. And I'm really just going to be managing recoil from the waist up. If I try to manage recoil from my feet, then I'm only ever going to be able to shoot like this, kind of like a robot, right? So again, just imagine that you're managing that recoil from here up to here. So with my posture, my core, my elbows, my grip, and all the other fundamentals. Why would I want to be able to move and shoot? Well, quite frankly, in a real world situation, it is much harder to hit a moving target, right? Or maybe I have some cover that I could move to and I want to be moving towards that cover to be safe. So it's important that I try to separate the upper and lower body and minimize the bounce. If I bounce while I'm walking, that gun's gonna move and it makes it harder for me to find a good sight picture and take good shots. Whereas if I move like this, I'm keeping my upper body quiet and I'm moving, right? So I'm gonna go when I'm moving forward, just kind of heel toe. And when I'm going backwards, I'm reaching back with that toe to feel and just roll. I'm kind of rolling my foot. Same thing can be said when I'm going sideways. I'm reaching out with the side of that foot and rolling into it. Or I'm going this way, I'm reaching out with the side of that foot and going this way. Now, some people argue if I'm moving sideways, I would never want to turn and move this way. But I think there are circumstances where it absolutely makes more sense to turn and move this way because it's faster, or turn and move this way because it's faster. It just might be harder to shoot when you're doing that. Again, we don't rise to the occasion, we fall to our level of training. So if you plan on doing that, find a place where you can train those skills. Before we get into moving and shooting, I like to teach people just to practice shooting on one foot. If you think about it, moving and shooting comes down to just being able to shoot on that one foot, right? Whether I'm moving forward, backward, or side to side. So I like to go ahead, let's go ahead and get eye pro and ear pro. I'm gonna be shooting these targets here. All right, so we talked about moving and shooting and starting on one foot. You can use an ammo can, a step, or just the ground. And I'm just gonna practice, and I'm not gonna practice a draw or anything. We're gonna do this from a ready position. So I'm just gonna practice this. I'll try the other foot. And what that allows me to do is I'm just practicing and telling myself in my mind's eye that I'm managing the recoil from the waist up. All right, now we're gonna do a few rounds moving forward. Just gonna do a quick tack reload. Now I have a full magazine, 5 rounds here. So I'm gonna slowly start back here and just move forward a couple of steps while shooting. Here we go, nice and slow. Gonna do the same thing coming backwards. Practice it side to side really quick. The other way. And so on. And I can get faster and faster at that as I train. There's another great drill we can do where we're practicing forward, backward, side to side, and that's the figure 8 drill. So I can either get some cones out, or I can just imagine there are cones here. I'm gonna go nice and slow here. Only have a couple of rounds, but I'm gonna go kind of mixture of forward, side, back. Oh, I have to do a reload. And I'm out of bullets. We're gonna do that one again with 2 full magazines. The progression here was 1 foot, forward, backward, lateral, and just having all of those. likely what I would do, I would spend, more time on each one of those drills if I had the time. You can do that. Sometimes you don't have the time or the space. So the figure 8 drill is a great drill because it's teaching me forward and backward, and I'm getting a lot of reps of just separating my upper body from my lower body and managing that recoil from the waist up, right? So again, figure 8 drill. We'll just start here. I'm gonna imagine there's cones here. Mag change. Go about my business and safely reholster.